4 races to go. 2 drivers in the hunt for the Astor Challenge Cup. Alex Palou, who has led the way since the very first race weekend in St. Petersburg, still arrives as the championship leader. But Pato O'Ward is within striking distance as we take a lap on board with Josef Newgarden.
Start finish line right there as Newgarden pops up. And I was going to say, T-Bell, I don't know how it looks to you. Track looks very, very low grip. A 112 right there for Josef Newgarden. A year ago, his teammate McLaughlin was quickest in practice 1 at a 107.6. So still a lot of track evolution to come to these drivers over the course of this session.
Well, and they're fighting Mother Nature, which over the last couple years since the big repave here has taken the surface down to a level where some of that rock is starting to get exposed again, and that tells me that degradation is going to be higher this year than last year and the year before. And remember, before the repave, Laguna was just absurdly high on degradation. So I think that's going to be the story here. The track will evolve, but certainly not back to the pace that we saw last year.
Now, one driver who didn't take the start last time out in Toronto was this man, Santino Ferrucci. Crashed during morning warm-up, injured his hand, and absolutely obliterated his car. Back on track, though. Kevin Lee, what can you tell us about the driver of the number 14?
So he's sore, but he's ready. He said he was fortunate that the big bang was above his knuckles, so nothing is broken. It's just really sore. He also has some sort of a nerve issue that will heal on its own, but it goes all the way up his arm, so that's impacting things. So he's going to have to somewhat drive the car more with his left hand. Thinks he'll be okay. However, after he climbed in the car today, he did tell the team, yeah, I'm a little more banged up than I thought, so this is going to be something to watch throughout the weekend. How Santino Ferrucci is doing and dealing mostly with the sore hand that he's fighting through this weekend.
Placed early. Pato O'Ward placed a bet early as Christian Rasmussen's around in turn 2.
And of course now you can just jump over there because there's no gravel.
Yeah.
Here's a replay then, coming down into the braking zone. Turns it in, and it starts. It's already gone. He's already turning right through the left. Loose rear, turns him around, and puts him right where he doesn't want to be.
Luckily, he didn't really slide with the wheels locked at all, so I don't think he'll have any major flat spots on that set. It's a fairly kind of slow, lazy spin, and again, this is the drivers getting used to having that weight from the hybrid in the back. This is the first year we've come here. It's the last track that we are coming to for the first time with the hybrid.
Hey guys, just look at turn 2 right here and how chewed up the asphalt is there, how gritty the surface looks. Crazy, the tire wear.
Almost. And this, the corkscrew, Renus VK, maximum commitment through there.
Woo. Had a pretty good slide through the left-hander, then it carried as he landed into the right-hander there. Cool thing about the corkscrew is you can short shift to the next higher gear and just mat the throttle if you time it right and get compression. On board here, thanks to JM Bouillon, Kyle Kirkwood coming up. There's the sky that Jack was talking about. That's all you see. And then right here, you're going to aim for that little tree and just bury the throttle as you get all of the heave compression. Tons of grip available if you time it right.
Is JM Bouillon related to Jean-Christophe Bouillon?
Oh, huge shake there from Power, who matted the throttle and didn't quite have the grip to pull it off. But I love Jack's description because he's so right. When you're on a good lap and you can see on your dash the deltas are good and you're coming up to the corkscrew and you just think, all right, just don't don't ball this up, you know, and then you end up under driving the brake zone, not rolling the speed, and you lose all the time that you've made up from earlier in the lap. So it is a tricky one to get right.
That was perfect, Colton Herta. You talk about the Herta house. That's why those guys, father and son, so fast through here.
And what I love about the Fox driver's eye view, courtesy of Arrow with Pato O'Ward, is when you come into that left-hander, you just see that little bit of track on your left, and then as you turn right, you see nothing. Nothing.
Driver's eye is killer all the time, but I've really been watching in the mirrors. It's so vivid. You know, the mirror is so close to the driver's head, but I've been watching to see if there's any trailing cars, but just brilliant stuff. It really, this is exactly, if you're watching at home, is this really what it's like? This is really what it's like.
4 seconds.
Someone, that's damage.
Devlin.
Left rear.
That's an interesting spot. That's
exit to turn 4?
Yeah, say entry to turn. Oh, yeah, it's say entry to 5, but
that's a big off.
That's a very fast corner.
Wonder if he dropped wheels, driver's left, and then hooked across the track.
You can see some of the dirt there. Yeah, I think maybe on entry.
Looks like damage to the front as
Unless
well.
he's run too quick through 4, hit the rears on the wall. A little bit.
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
Oh, into concrete.
Ooh, boy.
Significant amount of damage.
I mean, that's an oval crash, effectively. Square to the concrete, no safer barrier in that section. And a lot of work for the MyJack team overnight to get ready for practice 2 tomorrow. He was the undisputed president. He made the decisions at the racetrack. He set the tone for the organization as Will Power. I thought he was going to lose it and hook into the wall just like DeFrancesco. So I think this is a sort of a leadership test year, right? New people in positions, but I think we got to ask that question a year from now, 2 years from now. Are these the guys that are going to lead the organization like a great coach, like a great quarterback would with a team? And I think the jury still is too early. And for the guys that got appointed, it was unexpected. They never thought they were going to be in the situations they find themselves in, sort of by default. So anytime an organization is struggling,
Dixon's
backward in 5.
Facing the wrong way. And that is between 5 and 6 on the run up the hill. That's where Will Power went off just moments ago.
Yeah, you never like being facing counter course. And you can't see around that corner either from the driver's standpoint.
Luckily, there's a waving yellow there to help.
So you're waiting for the team.
You have a pretty good gap. It might be able to move it. There's
exactly.
Coming on before.
The team to tell you when you can make that move. But, you know, we were watching that replay of Power using all that road on the exit. And Dixon, same sort of thing. You go pass over the curb into that paved area, and he just went a little bit too far, leaning still a little bit too much on that right rear, and it goes around. Let's listen. Well, he lost it early.
Talking to Scott Dixon this morning, he admitted not his favorite circuit in the world. He has, of course, won here back in 2023. Other than that, though, only one podium in all of his visits here.
On board thanks to Petroactive here with Ferrucci. You know, the other thing with turn 5 at Laguna is this right here is not a painted line. That is a drain. Yeah. That's a steel grate right there. And I don't care how much rubber gets laid down as Jacob Abel now loses it out of turn 3 maybe. Oh my gosh.
My goodness.
Chaos. Rossi into the wall.
Turn 6. That's one of the fast.
Yeah, that's Rossi at 6. It's Abel at 3, and that's a big one for Alexander Rossi. Where we've
very
seen
fast corner.
Power go off, where we've seen Dixon have a spin. Rossi backwards and into the barrier. Red flag is out. Checker is out. Session is done. As we take a look with Rossi, and that's through 5, and it just and it's front and rear.
That's a wicked hook, and they're coming off a very short week where they had to perform huge repairs to that race car after that very awkward and punishing brush of the wall in Toronto. Just ripped apart the right side. Now it's the left side of the race car. Front and rear going to need some heavy work.
Yeah, Alexander Rossi out of the IndyCar medical unit. That was a pretty big hit. How did that transpire?
Yeah, I just I bottomed a little bit on that kind of extended part of the curb, the green curb area, and then it was kind of a correction, and then it went the other way. So yeah, really unfortunate, obviously, to have that happen in practice 1 and not be able to get an idea of the red. So anyways, it's a shame. It's not the way you want to start the weekend, especially a weekend like this with Java House. So a lot of work to do to bounce back, but it seems like the cars are fast, so that's an important thing, and we'll just move on from it and get them tomorrow.
Thanks.
Oh, rear getting a little wide and over the gravel.
Is that ILOT?
I believe it is.
That would have been turn 6, which is exactly where Alexander Rossi got it wrong. Let's take a look at this. I'll bet he chased it all the way up the road.
Yeah, you see, Alex talked about how the bottoms out, similar to 5.
What's the
wow,
no, that was
I thought
such a moment. He was
on.
already hooked. He was heading for the tire wall. Watch this. This could have been horrible. Oh boy.
That off the sand and onto the kitty litter, and that just keeps it out.
Does not feel comfortable from inside the car when that happens.
The most important thing as a driver when that happens is keep your eyes high. Don't give up on where you want to go. Don't look at the wall. Don't look down. Just keep looking as far up the road as you can, and don't do anything with your feet. Hands and eyes, that'll save you.
As we connect back with Palou on that push lap. So quick, so committed through turn 4.
Oh, they nailed it. That's as perfect as you can get in turn 4. A quick, decisive turn in and just hanging the left rear by a couple inches off the curb. This should be a good one if he can hang on to it.
Using all the track and the off track, which you're allowed to do into that tricky turn 6, which naturally pulls you in through the left-hander. Now coming up and into the corkscrew. Nail this on the gas. Flat chat downhill through the double left-hander and over the line for Alex Palou. Will this compete with O'Ward's 109.2? It's a 109.4.
That's encouraging that O'Ward has at least, if not better, pace. Does Palou bail out of this? It looks like it. So he's done, one and done.
So just watch here how the tire hangs off the edge of the curb. You can see that shadow. The gravel sits just about 2 inches below.
Wow.
So half your rear tire off the curb. That is perfect.
And one more inch to the left, and you might destroy your race car, a la Devlin DiFrancesco. So it's high risk, high reward in turn 4.
With that one push lap for Alex Palou, isn't even second fastest anymore. Marcus Armstrong has gone quicker, a 109.3. It puts into perspective the lap that Pato O'Ward did on the soft earlier of the 109.2, given, as you said, the commitment that Palou had, the precision and the ability to really push it to the absolute edge, literally, as well as metaphorically.
And impressive that Marcus Armstrong's quicker than Palou, just as
Renus VK.
That's out of turn 11.
Rasmussen.
Whoa, almost a second ECR car in the wall.
There's gravel all over the exit of 11. If you're running that piece of asphalt, you're basically going over the marbles there.
This is the most exciting practice one I can remember all season.
It's been up there, it's for sure. God, I love this driver's eye camera. It is such a cool view, hard on the brakes. It's surprisingly downhill into turn 2 there. You see, you could hear him just fighting, trying to search for the throttle for that grip level.
You know what those were? Senna steps.
Yeah.
Famous for hunting on the throttle, Ayrton Senna.
I have to say the turbo lag is significantly better in 2025 than it was in 1991 or whatever. So not usually what you're aiming to do in an Indy car. Of course, on a turbocharged engine, as the RPM drops down, the turbo loses its spool, it loses power. So back in the day, drivers would sometimes blip the throttle mid-corner just to kind of keep that turbo spooled up and that power on deck for when you got the throttle. Not really something you need to do as much these days. They've made it too easy, I think, for us.
Let's look for some of those patches on board with Colton Hershey. This is a great vantage point to see. There's one on the right there, but look on the inside here. Big patch on the inside of the corkscrew.
And I think the difference in turn 2 is scattered patching. You know, in the corkscrew, it's all one big fatty right there on the line that he can lean into with the throttle.
So let's see on the exits. There's a little patch on the inside of the final turn, but it's, as you say, on this run down over the crest and down. Let's see at turn 2 how much there is.
The thing at 2, Will, is there's not just one line, so you can run a little narrow on entry or wide, but let's watch. One
There's
outside,
a patch to the right.
then you cross the patch.
Patch there.
That's the problem.
And there. So you're going across patches as you come across the track.
And obviously, you know, common sense, your front tires hit it first. The car's going forward, so it grips up, and then that can overpower the back of the car if you're right on the limited grip.
Man,
anyway.
he is cranking on the brake bias. I think he's got his brake bias mounted driver's right, his knob, but he was dialing it to the rear, it seemed like, pretty aggressively.
Oh, and there's big patches as well on the inside of 6, and maybe that's what's catching some of those drivers out.
One of the cool things about the corkscrew, they teach you when you first drive in here, you're aiming for the tree there. You can't, it's tough to catch on a moving picture, but you turn in, you can't see the racetrack at all from sitting low in a race car, so they give you a visual reference. If you do a Skip Barber driving school or something here, there's 3 trees, aim for the middle one, get the center of the car there, and then onto the throttle.
Let's take a closer look at this tree.
Show us which tree, Hinch.
Okay, so you're going to come in here. You can see the apex curb now, so you turn in, but right now the entire track is blank.
Pause.
And so you're aiming for that one there, right there. So there's 3 trees, okay? You have tree 1, tree 2, tree 3. You can see those. You can see the tops of those trees. From the driver's seat, you've got your vision looking straight here, right off the bat, aiming for that middle one. And if you hit play, away you go. You're down center of the car at that tree on the throttle, and the rest sort of takes care of itself.
Where do we draw the line?
Oh, Newgarden.
There, Newgarden. And that is up at the corkscrew.
Might be beach. That looks like those rear tires are pretty dug pretty deep there.
Yeah. Red flag is out with 1.5 minutes remaining of the session. No, he's done. He is properly stuck.
Get the snow chains out. See what happened here.
Oh boy, he's crossed up.
Yeah.
Just a really early rear lock, which is interesting. I mean, it's, I hate to bring it up, but he had a kind of similar thing at the start of the race at Mid-Ohio, just on the brakes. Yeah. Massive rear lock, spins him out, unable to catch it. It's rare that a driver of this caliber has a rear lock big enough to spin him out all the way, but that's now 2 that we've seen.
Beautiful camera work, by the way.
And remember, that was his teammate, Will Power, who was on a flyer trying to put a lap in.
Hey.
And look, the car gets very light there, right? You do get some locking there. That's not uncommon, but normally you can kind of go-kart it into the corner, back it in. But as soon as it started to move, it just went all the way around on him. Really no chance for Josef to save it there.
And the drone was ready and waiting.
Perfect. Turn 10 is really where things compress the most. As Scott Dixon shot wide, locked left front.
And Dixon's not having the greatest of days. A spin, he's currently really rather slow. A 1:12.4, the best lap he's been able to put up yet. So nothing of any value on the softs.
Such a helpless feeling when you go into the corkscrew with a bit too much speed. You've locked up. You know you're not slowing down enough to make the corner, but you know there's this brutal drop coming, and it is very, very uncomfortable. Driver's right of the curb there as you go off the track.
Check flag is out. Colton Herter's time of 109.317, still the fastest. Herter not out on track to try and improve it.
Guys, Kipton Simpson sitting up there in 4th place, fresh off his first podium in Toronto last week out. Fresh off his best qualifying in Mid-Ohio a few weeks before that. So a really strong run of races for the young man from the Cayman Islands as Lundgaard just jumps up 1 position ahead of him in 4th.
And guys,
that's great.
I'm going to shout Abel out again. P6, 110.3, quicker than Power, quicker than Newgarden, quicker than Dixon. Yeah. That's a really nice run from Jacob Abel, who has not had an easy time of it in his rookie season. There is Graham Rahal. Ooh, whoa, just giving it a little bit too much. But it is focused. And guys, for the championship fight, that is exactly how we needed this weekend to start.
It absolutely is. I mean, look, Alex Palou's track record here is exemplary. It's his best track, statistically speaking. But if Pato O'Ward is going to dig deep and really bring the fight to him, he's got to do it starting this weekend. And so far, so good.
Impressive stuff from Callum Ilott there in Fremen Racing to be 5th. And Christian Rasmussen, who we talked to, despite dropping wheels and having to pedal it a bit, still 6th quick from the combined times.